Welcome to this practical guide on surviving on a $1,700 monthly Social Security check. To start, we will set expectations clearly and focus on what works in the real world. Then, we will move into a step-by-step plan to stretch every dollar, access assistance programs quickly, and create boundaries that protect your stability. By the end, you will have a realistic framework for navigating housing, communications, transportation, and food, plus the mindset shift needed to sustain long-term stability. First, we will outline the $1,700 reality and why housing is the #1 failure point. Next, we will discuss how to aggressively reduce communication costs and whether vehicle ownership is feasible. Then, we will cover the 4 safety nets you should enroll in immediately. After that, we will explore financial boundaries and how to protect your own stability. Finally, we will review a sample survival budget and test your understanding with 2 quick quizzes. Before we proceed, please note that this video is educational and not financial, legal, or medical advice. Program eligibility, availability, and timelines vary by state and county. You should verify all details with your local agencies, social services, and benefits counselors. Use this as a framework to prepare your questions and actions. Next, let's acknowledge the mathematical reality. At $1,700 per month, market rate rent under $1,000 is unusual and cannot be your base assumption. Utilities, connectivity, transportation, food, and medical costs pile up quickly. A single unexpected event, such as a flat tire or a minor repair, can destabilize the entire month's cash flow. Therefore, survival depends on eliminating non-essential spending and enrolling in assistance programs immediately rather than waiting for a crisis. Now, visualize the action sequence. The flowchart starts with gathering documents such as identification, social security number, proof of income, lease or proof of residence, and utility bills. From there, apply for SNAP to reduce food costs. Then apply for Medicaid or your state's low-income healthcare program to control medical expenses. Next, apply for LIHEAP to stabilize energy bills. In parallel, apply for subsidized senior housing, noting that senior housing lists can be shorter and separate from standard Section 8 lists. If wait times are long, branch into shared housing searches. Following that, move communications to an MVNO annual phone plan and basic internet. Then, assess transportation. Either sell the car or switch to community transit, depending on your situation. Build a $100 emergency buffer as soon as possible. Finally, set up monthly check-ins to maintain enrollment and reassess budgets. If any application is pending, the fallback is to use local food pantries and community resources immediately. Moving forward, compare 2 realities. In Scenario A, with market rent at $1,100, the total expenses reach $1,790, leaving a $90 deficit even before an emergency occurs. In Scenario B, with subsidized or shared housing at $550, combined with basic connectivity, transit instead of a car, and reduced out-of-pocket food costs through SNAP, total expenses are approximately $1,160. This leaves around $540 for debt, savings, or additional medical needs. The comparison demonstrates that housing is the primary failure point. Next, let's tackle housing, which must be addressed first. Apply to subsidized senior housing immediately. These lists are often distinct from standard Section 8 programs and can move faster. If the waitlist is extended, have a backup plan involving shared housing or room rentals. Avoid committing to market rate leases unless you can demonstrate a clear surplus after all essentials. Prepare a document folder that includes identification, your Social Security award letter, proof of income, bank statements, and references to speed up approvals. After securing housing, focus on communication austerity. Move your cell service to a prepaid or annual plan with a mobile virtual network operator to minimize monthly costs while retaining emergency capability. Choose basic, low-cost internet and avoid television bundles. Use a digital antenna to access free broadcast channels. For data-intensive tasks, rely on public library connections and community centers, which can provide reliable internet access without additional expense. Now consider transportation. Keeping a car involves unavoidable ongoing costs, such as gas, insurance, and taxes. Maintenance surprises like tires, brakes, or a battery can undermine your entire monthly plan. Additionally, parking and tickets can introduce unpredictable fees. In contrast, selling or skipping the car shifts you to community transit options like senior shuttles and paratransit. Occasional rideshare can be reserved for medical or critical trips. The monthly savings can be redirected into an emergency buffer to protect your financial stability. Meanwhile, maximize available safety nets right away. Apply for SNAP to reduce out-of-pocket grocery costs. Enroll in Medicaid or state low-income healthcare to manage medical expenses and prescriptions. Use LIHEAP to stabilize energy bills and prevent service interruptions. Treat food pantries as a planned and recurring resource rather than a last resort, especially while applications are pending. Contact your local Department of Aging and county social services. They can often expedite applications and connect you with additional programs. Next, let's address the emotional side. Boundaries. Financial independence at this income level requires using public safety nets fully and consistently. For family members or caregivers, it is essential to set limits to protect their own financial stability. When repeated personal conflicts or poor judgment drive instability, allowing natural consequences to occur can be the catalyst for responsible action. Peace often comes from maintaining firm boundaries that support without enabling. Now for a quick check. The question is, what is the single most likely failure point in a $1,700 Social Security budget? Is it A, streaming subscriptions, B, rent and housing, C, coffee and snacks, or D, occasional rideshare trips? You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B, rent and housing. Housing consumes the largest share of fixed income and is the most common reason budgets collapse. Without subsidized or shared housing, the math typically does not work long term. Next quiz. Which communication strategy best fits this budget? Option A is a cable bundle with a major carrier unlimited plan. Option B is an MVNO annual plan with basic internet and a digital antenna. Option C is no phone at all. Option D is satellite television with a premium sports package. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Using an MVNO annual plan paired with basic internet and a digital antenna provides essential connectivity at the lowest sustainable cost. It preserves emergency communication without locking you into expensive bundles. Now let's condense this into a 7-item survival checklist. First, apply for senior housing immediately and use shared housing as a backup. Second, switch to an MVNO annual phone plan and basic internet while adding a digital antenna for free television. Third, consider selling the car and rely on community transit or paratransit services. Fourth, enroll in SNAP, Medicaid, and LIHEAP right away to stabilize core expenses. Fifth, create a $100 emergency buffer as soon as possible. Sixth, treat food pantries as a planned, recurring resource. Seventh, enforce firm financial boundaries to avoid enabling behavior and protect your stability. To operationalize your plan, follow this 30-day timeline. In days 1 through 3, gather identification, your Social Security award letter, bank statements, and proof of residence. In days 4 through 7, apply for SNAP and Medicaid. In days 8 through 10, apply for LIHEAP and submit applications for senior housing. In days 11 through 14, switch your mobile service to an MVNO, set up a digital antenna, and downgrade to basic internet. In days 15 through 20, research shared housing as a fallback and schedule tours. In days 21 through 25, evaluate whether to sell the car and set up transit or paratransit services. In days 26 through 30, build a $100 emergency buffer and set a recurring monthly review date, keeping a binder for all notices and renewals. As we wrap up, remember these key ideas. Prioritize housing above everything else. Strip connectivity costs down to essentials. Recognize that car ownership is usually a luxury at this income level. Use SNAP, Medicaid, LIHEAP, and food pantries proactively. Finally, maintain firm boundaries to protect both your budget and your peace of mind. In summary, subsidized or shared housing is usually what makes the survival math work. Cutting connectivity costs and reducing or eliminating vehicle expenses frees up critical dollars. Enroll in safety nets immediately and keep your documents organized for renewals. Lastly, Maintain boundaries so you can support yourself or others without enabling unsustainable choices. Thank you for watching. If this video helped, please like and share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more realistic budgeting guides. What is your toughest trade-off on a fixed income? Tell us in the comments so we can cover it in future videos.